This magnesium rod that I just pulled out of the ground was part of an old earth battery I had, and the magnesium was a negative, and some carbon block water filters were the positive, but the connections failed, so the battery failed. I couldn't pull the carbon off. They kind of broke apart. But the plan is to reuse this magnesium rod and make a new earth battery to power the crystal radio amplifier, so I can use a speaker all the time. Now, I have been pretty impressed with these magnesium carbon fiber graphite cells I made in these jars. So I'm going to do the same thing with this old magnesium rod. I'll put a layer of paper towel over this, and then I'm going to wrap it with this carbon fiber graphite rope. This is 3 millimeter. I got a whole bunch of it. And I'll just wrap it all around this to fill in just like I did on these other cells. Now, someone had asked me where I got these magnesium rods from. Well, they're water heater anode rods. I got this from Menards. And if you don't have a store near you, I think you can just order them online and have them shipped to you. I think they're, I don't know, 23 to 26 bucks or something like that. And they work real good for earth batteries or for cells in a jar. So this is the completion. This will be the earth battery for the amplifier and also the grounding rod for the crystal radio. I ended up cutting the one end off and drilling and tapping new threads in there for connection screw. And I didn't want it to corrode at all, so what I did, I took a nylon washer and I hot glued it around the end so we won't get any electrolyte. Well, we shouldn't get any electrolyte over to the connection. The connection will be above the ground. And so, got the top, and we got the bottom down here. This is alum water that I'm applying to this. This will just be a preliminary check. Make sure we got some voltage. DC. So you can see it. Negative, positive. 1.8 volts. Not too bad to start with. On the galvanic series chart, we got magnesium at the top of the list for negativity, and we have graphite at the bottom of the list for positivity. So we got a good combination. But what I'm doing different with this earth battery compared to the jar batteries is that I just want some bare copper wire right over the top of this carbon fiber graphite. And the reason I did that is because this carbon fiber graphite rope has a higher resistance than the copper. It can be significant, and I want the best conductivity I can going all the way through. Well, I have my hole as deep as I can dig it, and my earth grounding battery is ready to go in. I had a bunch of scrap wire I wanted to use up, so I soldered that to the end of that wire so I can get a little more earth grounding down there. So that'll go in first. I am going to need 2 hands to do this. All I really need from the ground for this earth battery is the moisture, but I don't want it soaking wet. So that's why I filled around it with pea gravel. So it'll get good drainage, but it will still be moist from the ground. And we'll test the voltage before I cover anything up. 1.55 volts. Okay. Now I'm going to grease up this connection here, and then I'll cover it up with this and then put dirt all around it so this connection won't be in contact with any dirt. And now I'll get this connected up to the radio. This is the magnesium ground lead in there, and copper there. And we got some action. Right now, I have the radio disconnected and I just have it shorted out through the meter, and I'm watching the current rise. This is DC milliamps. This right here, take a look at that. Comes in over there, comes across here, and almost up to 200 milliamps. I'll probably leave this to see how high it'll go. We're at 200 milliamps. Well, it's slowing down now, but it does sometimes take a while for those batteries to form good. You know, like these up here, they took a while to form. Then actually, I think the voltage climbed on some of these after they were formed good. And then I just left LEDs on these all the time. Not to short them out much, but just enough to power the LEDs. 230 milliamps. And I'll probably have to put some kind of potentiometer on here to control the power going to this so I can control the volume. And the next thing I'll do is I'll go over this amplifier. This is an amplifier right here. Capacitor, transistor, and a resistor. I have a variable on there one right now. These 2 points of contact is where the earpiece would go if you're listening just right off the crystal radio. And on mine, I have some crossover resistance. I have a potentiometer right here, and I have it set at 10K. Now I have the schematic drawn up of what I have going on. And this is where the earpiece connectors are. I have my crossover resistance. This is the crystal radio over here. And from here, I have it going into a small capacitor, 0.2 microfarad. That's this little guy right here. And then this is our transistor, the heart of the operation of this amplifier. And it's a NPN transistor, and the number is PN2222A. We have the base, emitter, collector. And from there, we go over to another resistor, 22K. That's this potentiometer right here. I have it set at 22K. You know, this could be replaced for a fixed value. And then we go down over here to the piezoelectric tweeter I'm using for a speaker. And I have some more crossover resistance here. And that's this potentiometer right here, and I have it set at 6K. And you set that down for a minute, get a better look this at the transistor. This is the transistor. And the next thing we want to look at is the grounds, the earth battery grounds. This is the magnesium negative ground. That's this black wire right here. It can be just used as the ground for the crystal radio too. But this is the magnesium ground, the negative. That's how that is connected. And over here, we have the carbon graphite ground, the positive. And that's this red wire right here. This is copper one that I have running in. And we can just connect that right there. Get some operation going on. Now you could change this. If you wanted to just connect a battery up to this, like a AAA battery or something, we just disconnect this positive ground over here, connect your battery to the negative to negative, and your positive to your battery right here. And you can use AAA battery, like I said, or I use my jar batteries or 9-volt battery, whatever you have available. It's not real fussy. This transistor works down to a very low voltage. I think I had it working maybe like 0.7 volts. I showed in another video. But anyway, this operates a real low voltage. And like I said, all these potentiometers that I have connected up right here, they can be replaced just with a fixed value resistor too. This magnesium carbon fiber graphite earth battery, and including those jar batteries, they're not meant for high output batteries, but for longevity. They'll last a long time, years in fact. That magnesium rod that I had pulled out, that had been in there almost 2 years, and there was plenty of magnesium left. It was just pitted here and there. So I would expect maybe it lasts over 5 years yet. Now, I mentioned in that jar battery video that I think when they're exposed to the air, I think they're kind of acting like a magnesium air battery. I think that's why the voltage was higher on the earth battery before I stuck it in the ground. And then when I put it in the ground, voltages drop a little bit. So I think maybe they're acting like air batteries when they're exposed to the air. Now, also, if that was pure graphite on there, magnesium pure graphite battery, I think the voltage has been higher yet too. I think the carbon fiber, it takes some of the voltage out. You know, it had a higher resistance. So I hope you found this video inspiring if you like working with crystal radios. I think if you can make a crystal radio, you can make this amplifier and earth battery because they're pretty simple. And you can also use that earth battery as a ground for your crystal radio. So I'd like to thank you for taking your time for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.